Well, everybody, we made it. Friday, rookies report for Chiefs training camp. This is finally the time we've all been waiting for, trying to get all of our minds right, our bodies ready for the actual NFL season to begin. Now, training camp obviously is a different animal, but we get to finally see rookies put on some pads. And then when the veterans report the Tuesday after this following Friday, it's going to be in full swing. We're going to finally get to see how these players look after they've taken a little bit of time off OTAs. And I tell you what, I'm just super excited to be able to see them in action, being able to get my eyes on these guys for the first time with pads this season to see how everybody really looks. Man, I'm so excited. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun. If you're new, even if you're not, please hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the sub notification for your guys' benefit as well as ours. It helps grow the channel. That's really what we're trying to do, is reach as many Chiefs fans as we possibly can. So please don't forget to hit that like to the video. One of my biggest takeaways every single season, trying to find how to get access to different rookie camps and different camp videos and things like that. One guy has stood out over the past couple of seasons. His name is Eddie High. You can find him on Twitter at Eddie EDDIE HIGH on Twitter. He posts a ton of videos, training camp videos, everything that you guys really need. So make sure you follow him on Twitter. If you're not, you can get all those up-to-date daily videos that he posts. It's great work, so we can all finally get a little bit of things that we're itching to see. Speaking of things that we're itching to see, the defensive secondary for Kansas City is one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most. I can't wait to see what they end up doing. The player that I'm probably most excited to see this season is Trent McDuffie. They're the Chiefs' very first pick. Obviously, we know that he fell at a point where he wasn't even on their board to draft because they assumed he was going to be gone so much earlier than he was. And then they went up ahead and traded with the Patriots, got up there and took Trent McDuffie. Most people thought they were going to go ahead and get Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. That didn't end up happening. They went and got the corner to really help solidify their cornerback room and their secondary room, because they needed a shutdown corner, someone who has the upside that, no offense to Tarvarius Ward, he just didn't have. He was the player that he was going to be. He was a very good player, and they had to replace him because you still have to get that production level, and the cornerback room was looking bare. So they went out, they get McDuffie, they bring in Joshua Williams, a couple other corners in the draft. They trade for Lonnie Johnson Jr. This cornerback room and this defensive back room is going to be very different. It's going to be very competitive, and I can't wait to see how all of them address camp. I want to see Rashad Fenton get his mind right, because he got beat up at the end of last season, so he needs to come into camp ready to prove that he has what it takes. We know L'Jarius Sneed's going to have a pretty good season, being that, I assume, outside into slot corner flex kind of player again this season. So the corner room, the defensive back room, is going to be one of the biggest rooms I'm keeping an eye on this training camp. I want to see how these guys fly around. Really, Brian Cook, the young guys. I want to see how they adapt and how Justin Reid fits into this defense with Juan Thornhill, who says he's going to be, looking for an all-pro selection this year. So I can't wait to see them get into this group and really how everybody just adjusts to the new defense. I want to see all of that when it comes through. The next thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing, okay, it's the thing that's going to determine, in my opinion, how successful the Chiefs' defense is this season. Yes, the defensive back room is going to be different. It's going to be young. It's going to be inexperienced at times. But I do think that Spags is, the way he moves things around, the way he kind of confuses offenses with his different adjustments, his late safety motions, things like that, will be able to level some things out. Up front for Kansas City, there is a big, dire need for pass rush. Frank Clark has been disappointing most of his tenure in Kansas City. You bring in George Karlaftis, their second first-round draft pick. You're hoping that he can help elevate not just Frank Clark, but Chris Jones, take some pressure off of Chris Jones to be the best guy out there every single down and really create all the pressures and the sacks for this defense. But also, we're looking for George Karlaftis to continue to improve. Very raw player in terms of his experience. He didn't really play much football until he came to college at Purdue. He was very good his rookie season when he was a bit trimmer. Then he put on some weight, and he started to lose some of his explosions, some of his bend, some of his things like that. So it looks like he's lost a little bit of weight. He's been working with Bobby Strope, hoping to help develop that ankle flexion and that hip and knee bend that will allow him to maybe develop a certain aspect of his pass rush game. And that's what you're really hoping for. Two rookies on this defensive staff, George Karlaftis and Trent McDuffie, are going to play a very large role in how successful they can be. And again, coming down to that pass rush, getting to the quarterback, the addition of George Karlaftis can hopefully elevate Frank Clark and Chris Jones' play, as well as Frank Clark and Chris Jones hopefully being able to elevate his play. By the way, I'm going to have a film review for you guys tomorrow on Frank Clark, how he looked after the acquisition of Melvin Ingram. Why was he able to actually have a better end of the season? Why did sometimes it feel like he was disappearing, and other times it felt like he was really actually quite good? And we're going to kind of dive into that dilemma, how he looks this offseason, and hopefully how that's going to adapt to him coming into this season being a better player. Make sure you guys tune into that tomorrow. But yes, the defensive front, we've harped on it all season, all off season, last season. We're going to continue to harp on it until we finally see results. That's going to be a big thing this year. The last thing that I'm looking forward to seeing, because as much as we can get through the rookies reporting, I know Sky Moore's reporting this week as well as one of the rookies. The wide receiver room is going to be a lot of fun to watch this season. I think it's going to be different than the Chiefs have had under Mahomes. We all know that without Tyreek Hill. You bring in 3 different receivers now to help complement everybody. And I think that's the big key this season, is complementary football. Not just the run game to the pass game, but the receivers complementing each other, and Mahomes being able to complement the receivers and use them to their best abilities. I think the defense is much along the same lines, where you have this complementary football being played. Hopefully the improvement on the back end allows the front to be able to get home a little bit more. So complementary football is going to be important for the Chiefs this year. But flipping back to that offensive side of the football, right tackle, okay? This is a very big thing, okay? I know that there's going to be a little bit of interest. I want to see what Lucas Niang looks like if he's even on the field practicing. We need to see how him, Andrew Wiley, and the rookie, Darian Kinnard, look. That's another person who gets to report on Friday. Darian Kinnard, watch out for him, okay? He needs to not only show that he's been working on the footwork, like he has said. I think that he's lost some weight, so you're hoping to see a little bit of a trimmed Darian Kinnard. If he can look like he's getting in those pass sets comfortably, getting that drop leg, that outside leg back quickly, a little bit quicker than hopefully an Orlando Brown does. Because if you have 2, essentially Orlando Browns bookending your offensive line, you're going to have speed rushers be able to just funnel themselves outside. So hopefully that footwork has improved. He becomes a little bit more athletic and get to the outside there. And maybe he's going to be able to take a run at this starting right tackle spot. But right now, I think it's going to be Andrew Wiley. Lucas Niang, again, we'll see. But you kind of hope that he's healthy, because you need a backup left tackle. You preferably to have him instead of just automatically resorting to Joe Thuney. Hopefully he's able to be able to stay at guard all season. The contract he got was more of an insurance policy for center as well as left tackle. He was able to do that last year after Niang got hurt, after taking over for Orlando Brown, those freak accidents happening. So hoping he's able to get back, get healthy, get on the field, just do something, because Niang, this is his last, in my opinion, his last season to show that he can be a productive player in this offense and can stay on the field, stay healthy, things he's been unable to do the last 4 years of his career, obviously opting out his rookie season because of COVID. So the offensive line is going to be set in stone. Right now, this is Tuesday. I assume that Orlando Brown is going to sign his franchise tag. I don't think he's going to let $16 million a paycheck every single game just walk by. I don't think that he can do that. $1 million, not 16 million, $1 million each game just be gone. I don't think he's going to let that happen. So I do think that he will report later, probably to training camp, maybe a little bit later. We'll see how that all shakes out, but I don't think he's going to miss any games because of it. But yeah, that right tackle spot's going to be interesting. And there's one thing, okay, I know it's my belief, and you don't have to believe it, that's fine. I think Clyde's going to have a really good year behind this offensive line, and he's looked much more comfortable. Give me, in the comment section, give me the one player that you think doesn't get talked about enough, that's going to have a really good training camp and make a push for this roster that maybe isn't slotted to make that roster spot. So that one player that you think can have a really big camp and make themselves an impact player just in this team, regardless of where it is, special teams, offense, defense, it doesn't matter. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But it's here, Friday, Rookies Report Training Camp. We're going to get to see some videos from Eddie High on Twitter about training camp. I'm so excited. Please make sure you hit that like, hit the bell, hit the sub. Please don't forget that like. It really helps us out, try to get to everybody. Again, you guys are some of the best fans in all of sports, not just for the Chiefs, but for this channel. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys being with us for this long off season. And now that we're finally here, we're almost to the point where we have no more months without football until March of next year. Just take that deep breath, let it out. And right now is about the time that we get to be really, really excited about Chiefs football again, as we always are. You guys have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.